The year is 20XX, and Dr. Wally has built a vicious army of robots planning to take over the world. But only one man, one robot boy, is going to stop them. And his name
Mega Man?
is Mega Man. We need to find all the energy, Mega Man. Nah,
Thus, Super Robot and Mega Man was born.
Thus, Mega Man was born. Hello, friends and fellow gamers. My name is TempestMask1000. Some of you know me as Steve, and it's great to be back here once again for Big Bad Game-A-Thon. This time presenting a rather unusual title that very much is Mega Man. It's a Game Gear game, and yeah.
This is the one with Cut Man, right?
Cut Man? There ain't no Cut Man in this Mega Man.
Oh, we're not gonna have a scissors moment?
Alas, there is no epic scissors moment to be found here, Bram.
Oh yeah, that's right. My name is Bram Hall V. I'll be on the couch today.
Indeed. A very good friend of mine and experienced in Mega Man 4 and 5, which has some relevance to this particular game, as y'all will see very soon.
Yeah, I know who Mega Man is.
Yes. And I'm sure you all know who Mega Man is, but let me tell you, this game is going to be wild. I just want to give a quick shout out to our restreams, by the way, our restreams around the world, because they might not have known about this game. This was North American exclusive, and this was released as part of US Gold wanting to bring Mega Man to a Sega handheld, despite Wily Wars having already existed. But we'll talk a bit about the details as we go along. We'll just start this run right now, because we got to get things moving along, and time will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so anything y'all need to know about classic Mega Man is generally found in here. Unfortunately, it's not very trick heavy. There's general vanilla movement to be found here. So physics works practically similar, if not same, to Mega Man 5. Therefore, Mega Man has a powered-up Buster Shot, but it will go away and have to recharge again if you take damage. Additionally, the Rush Coil works the very same way as Mega Man 5 did for NES, so you won't really see me use it at all unless I feel like I need to grab an extra life in one specific late game location. On top of that, though, with this game having been developed for the Game Gear, developer Freestyle decided to make a rather unique, and by unique I mean not so good, solution for how to fit the classic styled graphics onto the screen, that being a fully scrolling camera. And normally you're seeing it scroll either vertically or horizontally in a classic Mega Man 8-bit game, but in this case they decided, why not both? Bad news, nobody celebrated it. The interesting thing about it is that you can hold the jump button and stay in place for a while to then use your control pad to change the camera movement, but aside from that, it's completely useless in the run and it just wastes more time, so I'm not going to do any of that.
Similarly to how Mega Man can only fire his Buster straight in front of him, he can also only really see about 2 feet in front of his face.
And on top of that, too, he can only fire 2 shots maximum in this game, which is unusually different from the traditional 3 shots.
So yeah, internalized stage knowledge is going to be pretty important because there are a lot of blind spots on this very small screen.
Yeah.
Here's our first boss, Stone Man.
He's a very jumpy bean, alright. He's a lot faster than he normally is, though. You're gonna see it right here, anyway. So, it's gonna be all about bustering him, because you're probably wondering, why would anyone in their right mind go for Stone Man first? Well, the answer is he's weak to the Napalm Bomb, like in Mega Man 5, which sadly is not an effective weapon. And it's a lot more consistent to just buster him down.
Yeah, the strategy is pretty much exactly the same, but like Tempest said, he moves faster, so the timing is a little different.
And we got the stone weapon.
You'll kind of see the same kind of property a little bit later when we get to Toad Man.
Right. Which, not to spoil anything, but no, it's actually very important. See, the thing is, we got 4 robot masters to be found here, and in a way, this game takes a little bit after what the Game Boy games did for the classic series, which, if you're familiar with those series of games, please actually play them. They're really good. I mean, comparable things to Mega Man 2 for Game Boy, but still very, very solid games nonetheless. But the major difference being that, unlike the NES games, you're typically fighting robot masters in separate groups.
Very nice jumps. Those are pretty tough to make with low gravity.
Yeah, like with normal Starman stage, it's anti-gravity shenanigans, meaning that my jumps are much higher. And now for these mechanical walkers.
Yeah, you have to beat these, right?
Yeah, you have to beat these in this game. They're basically like mini bosses. They've coded the rooms to not be able to scroll until they're all destroyed. By the way, sorry if you all hear me sniff. I'm just getting over being sick, so that's not much I can do about that if you do hear me cough or sniff a little. Oh, that was close. I scared myself there for a little bit.
Next boss, Starman.
I'm probably going to take a safety death because the intended strat is going to require damage boosting, so... yeah, not much I can do about that there.
Never heard that term before, but it makes sense in a Mega Man game. Where you just get all your stuff back when you die.
Well, some games.
You generally don't think of dying as being very safe.
Yeah. Nah, if you're not too concerned about a top time run, safety death is very much a viable term when it comes to a marathon. But yeah.
So, if I recall correctly, the Power Stone in this game works differently. It's only 1 rock?
2 rocks.
2 rocks.
Yeah, 2 instead of 3. Generally better, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to hit things with.
Yes, because both rocks spawn in the top and bottom position. So by putting ourselves close into Starman's hitbox, by using the Power Stone that way, it makes the fight go much faster. I realized that I probably didn't have to take the safety death, but the real reason I didn't really want to, take that risk was, like with most Mega Man games back in the day, your ammo does not recover when you die. So, unlike Mega Man 8. But the thing about the Power Stone in this game is that it still operates like the Power Stone in Mega Man 5, so I would still say that even with only 2 stones in this particular game, being a lot better than how the original weapon functioned, I'd still say Mega Man 2, the Power Fighters, the arcade game, had it best. So we're going into Brightman stage, by the way, and this is the one robot master from Mega Man 4 that makes the first group. Actually, I could have done a little bit of a damage boost with the totem pole shot to get across the spiky scissors. Oh wait, here's our epic scissors moment.
Oh,
yes. It was here all along.
I never thought of these as scissors, but I guess that is what they are.
Oh, I always thought them to be scissors. But yeah,
they're not really spikes. They're not really spikes because they're not one-hits, right?
Oh, they're still spikes. They're still gonna instant kill you.
Oh, okay.
All right, here's the worst part of the level. All right, cool. But we're not quite done just yet.
Yeah, it's eventually gonna turn dark.
So, Bram is actually a returning commentator. The first time that I did this in an in-person appearance, I had a lot of trouble with this particular section because in the original Mega Man 4, that section is also pretty notorious for just having a very tight jump. But include the tight camera, and you've basically gotten yourself a bad time.
Very nice first try there.
Yes, very first try. Very much wow. All right, cool.
So the bright man is weak to stars. That is because that's because when the stars are
they're space.
They're too bright, then they
okay, yeah, actually. Yeah.
Weakness logic does not make sense here.
It really doesn't. But hey, you make a good point. Stars are supposed to be hotter and brighter than actual
Flashlights.
Yeah, flashlights. So the one odd thing about this game entirely is that this is comprised of, in case y'all noticed, repeat level designs from the NES games, and there's not really anything original about this aside from maybe the graphical style being essentially a polished up 8-bit version. It's weird because you'll also notice some strange color differences, like for instance that I'm pretty sure the little sand, dirt, mud flowing down here, those aren't supposed to be brown. I think they're normally blue, like actual water.
Tempest has got a 1-up drop. Those are actually very valuable because game overing in this is extremely punishing.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that yet. That's a good point. Also, this guy is being is a pain. I hate bully enemies like those, but you know what? Sometimes he lets me climb up the ladder. Sometimes he doesn't, and that was sadly the latter case.
So yeah, there are absolutely no checkpoints in this game whatsoever. If you game over, then you have to start again, unless you input a password.
Right. Well, yes, there are checkpoints in this game, but game overing, yes, you can't. There's no retry screen. And yeah, I don't know why they did that. Like, if Freestyle had one job. But yeah, the good news though is that health pickups, they're actually not going to slow you down. They do not punish you whatsoever because the game does not stop to show this refill animation, and instead it's just instantaneous.
That's quite nice.
It really is. You're normally going to see that in more modern games like Mega Man 11 or fan games like Perfect Blue or Y+1. And yes, that was intentional, by the way. As if I was going to complete that Napalm Man boss fight with a single hit. I could have, but I didn't want to try it.
So, Napalm Man is weak to Bright Man because...
Well,
yes.
I mean, Bram, we talked about this yesterday. Gemini Laser.
Yeah. Gemini Laser? Yeah, it's the closest thing we've got, right?
Yes.
You know, Bright Man freezes you in place. Gemini Laser freezes the screen. It's the same weapon.
Yeah, pretty much. For those that don't know, Napalm Man was weak to Gemini Laser in the Mega Man arcade games. Speaking of Napalm being defeated, so at this point we only have that password screen to go off of. So because you can't do a retry screen, you have to use a password to continue where you left off. But after that group of 4 Robot Masters, it's all downhill from here. You just gotta hope that you can beat the game, otherwise you gotta start all the way over from here. Waveman stage.
Yes, this is my favorite music track from Mega Man 5, Waveman's theme.
Just as I remembered it.
For those who are experts on the Mega Man 5 soundtrack, this is actually Gravity Man's theme. Probably my favorite track from that game, but it's not for Waveman.
Yeah. It's weird because Waveman's theme is actually the Game Over theme.
Is it now?
Yes. I would have demonstrated it had I remembered to do so, but I didn't quite set myself up at the very beginning of this run, so...
Oh, you know what? I forgot about the Proto Man's Fortresses. That's probably actually my favorite song in 5. Very nice jumps.
Yeah, no skips to be found here. Like, generally speaking, as I mentioned earlier, it's basically vanilla classic Mega Man movement as far as things go. You're just...
Yeah, no super arrow.
Yeah, no super arrow, no out of bounds, no clips, no none of that. It's whatever you have at your availability. Which actually makes this a decent Mega Man game, ironically enough, to sort of... Wow, we're getting a lot of lives right now. That's incredible. But yeah, as I was going to say, it's actually a very useful Mega Man game to start speedrunning with, if you so choose to, because there's not a whole lot of runtime behind it. You can beat this in under half an hour. There are some quirks, though, like this mini-boss right here. As you can see, it is greatly downsized. On top of that, it is got the worst hitbox around in any kind of Mega Man.
Yeah, also the Game Gear can't handle it very well either.
It's weird because I feel like they could have easily made this thing bigger. Oh, wow.
Aw, juked.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we made up for it. There you go. Funny how drops work, but this is probably for the better. So we should talk about Wave Man because he actually has no weakness. And so the only thing I can really use effectively against him is the Buster. It's weird because there's a full-on weakness chain for the first 4 Robot Masters, but they didn't think beyond the first 4 Robot Masters, at least not for Wave Man. The good news is that his weapon, the Water Wave, which funnily enough is what Starman is normally weak to, that's going to be the weakness to Toadman, which will be right after this. So we kind of got back-to-back water bosses, and I'm not sure why they thought that was a good idea. But it's unique, I guess.
Yeah, Toadman wave because we all know frogs don't like water very much.
Oh. So Wave Man is actually a very pattern-based boss, meaning that he's going to constantly shoot the water wave from the ground up. He's going to fire a harpoon and then jump. It's just that simple. As long as you get that pattern down, you're basically good to go. Also, his face is not skin tone. It's completely metallic, in case you didn't catch that detail. I don't know whose idea it was to make it like that, but admittedly, it does make him look a little more intimidating. I'll give them that much.
So there is no actual wave, water wave in this game. It's called Wave Weapon.
Yeah.
And yeah, someone in chat pointed that out. This is Dr. Cossack's Fortress.
Yeah, we're for some reason we're investigating any potential shenanigans from our good friend Dr. Cossack. Apparently, he might be causing trouble again. Who knows?
So
okay, there we go.
This is Toadman's stage. Toadman is infamous in Mega Man 4 for being kind of a joke boss.
Oh, unfortunate. Hey, that was deathless up until that point. I can easily accept that. But yeah, no, you were saying?
Oh, I was saying Toadman is infamous in Mega Man 4 for being kind of a joke boss, but in this one he moves a little bit faster and is not quite as easy.
Yeah, pretty much. It's also the last full-on Robot Master level of the game, by the way, which is funny because then that means we're basically going Mega Man 1 format where it was 6 Robot Masters this whole experience. Can't say I've seen that one in a long while.
And I believe this mini-boss is a little bit different too. I think you just one-shot him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to use a charge shot for dramatic effect, but it was just getting to that point where I was already wasting time. Yeah, for some reason when programming this enemy, they only make it with a single hit point. More than enough for a lemon. A single lemon to kill it. Talk about scary snails, when the only thing that's scary about them is just the fact that they die so fast.
Well, I guess snails and slugs are weak to lemon acid.
That's true.
Oh, no, wait, that was salt.
Oh, salt, you're right. No, yeah. I'm not a master of biology.
Well, I guess they're not lemons. They're salt grains.
Hang on, I gotta save myself potentially. Okay,
you know,
good.
take my Mega Man knowledge with a grain of salt.
That's why I love having you around for comms, man. All right, cool. That was pretty close though, because that another rain flush surely would have killed me. Yeah, luckily you can pause the game just about at any point, even during a cutscene, which is good on, like, switching things up on the fly if you have to, but you can't, like, optimally use a thing until you're given control of Mega Man.
Have we found Dr. Wowie yet?
We have found Dr. Wowie, and apparently his castle is Quick Man's level of all things. So this is the only representative of Mega Man 2. The weird thing about this stage, though, is, guess what? The quick lasers work a little differently, too. The sparks will deal normal damage to you, but the laser beams themselves are still instant kill, so as long as I don't get hit by the actual laser beam, I'm good. Also, I have the slide, so this one's a little more convenient, but I'd say the fixed camera also offset, or sorry, free camera also kind of offsets that.
Life was looking awfully tempting, but
yeah, no, I didn't need it. I have way too much at this point.
Yeah, you're almost done.
So now for the boss, if they had any.
Oh, damn.
But yes, we are at the final level of the stage, if you can believe it, and it's just the first portion of the boss rush chamber leading on over to Dr. Wily himself. We found him.
Now, it wouldn't be a Mega Man speedrun without some good old atrocious Wily RNG.
Yeah, this is basically the MM9 Casino. The Wily Casino being a very infamously difficult capsule where his weakness was Plugman's weapon, but you were mostly going to use that as like a grounded weapon or something like that, so I don't know. It's basically the same here because the Buster deals a lot more damage to him, whereas the only weapon that'll deal damage to him is, unsurprisingly, the Rain Flush, but it does not make a lick of sense to even use that, so it's just better off that we don't. That said, he can go at any kind of height that makes him out of reach from the Buster. So let's hope that I can at least let's hope that he'll stop doing that. Oh gosh, that didn't even hit him. Sometimes the charge shot can hit him, whereas lesser shots cannot.
That
also
tickled his undercarriage, didn't it?
Yeah. Also, time will be on the final hit. Oh, really? That didn't get him either? Rats. Well, this could be dicey. We'll see. I think he's almost done, though. I'm not too sure. Maybe if I hit him one more time.
What is it? It does, like, what, 4 damage or 2?
It's gotta be 4.
He's at 4 now.
Oh, of course he's trying to avoid.
I mean, I would too if if someone was shooting at me.
Really? Oh, this could kill my PB pace. Actually, wait, no. Time. That's actually a PB. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That was a really nice run. There was only one unintentional death.
Great stuff. So, yeah, my recent video submission PB was a 2048 at Sega-Thon, so this one beats that by maybe 42 seconds, yeah, something like that, which is great. The real PB that I've been trying to shoot for is the very first run that I technically recorded, but oddly enough, in a very cursed way, OBS never caught the gameplay, so I was never truly able to submit that one because, you know, and that was like a 1912 or something like that, but one of these days, I know I will be able to complete it. For now, this is definitely a good time and a very good run, so yeah. Also, Dr. Cossack's now homeless, unfortunately.
Unlucky.
Yeah. He wasn't even the bad guy. He didn't deserve it.
Look, I'm surprised these quality assurance technicians are not household names.
But yeah, that was Mega Man for Game Gear. Thank you all for supporting the run and coming along and just checking out this wild game. If you'd like to play it for yourself, I highly recommend emulating it because I'm using Kega Fusion, which is the officially accepted Mega Man community emulator for this handheld. Unfortunately, the cartridge, the last time I checked, I saw one that was priced for, I kid you not, $600. It's not cheap to find that cart. As weird of a game as this is, as odd of a hidden gem as it is, it's just hard to get. But hey, probably for the better. While this is a very nice game and handles the classic experience all right and all that jazz, I can see why not a lot of people would have known about this. But hey, it's a Sega Mega Man game, so at least it has that going for it. Also, Dr. Wily didn't die. He's apparently alive. He's not bowing though, so sadly something else this game did not do right.
Well, any second now he's gonna run away and Mega Man's gonna be like, man, I should have arrested him.
Pretty much. But yeah, thank you again for Big Bad Game-A-Thon for having me. If you'd like to check me out, my Twitch is TempestMask1000, and I also got a YouTube channel of the same name. You can also go to my Twitter at It'sTempestSteve, and no, I will not call it an X account. I hereby refuse. But Bram, where can these wonderful people find you?
I'm on Twitch under Bramhall the Fifth, BRAMHALLTHEFIFTH. Hope you caught that.
Heck yeah. All right. And also one last shout out to Japanese Restream as well as the Spanish Restream. Thank you very much for bringing our neck of the woods of Big Bad Game-A-Thon over to your audiences as well. I always appreciate Restream communities for making speedruns worldwide accessible for all sorts of audiences, and that respect is always going to be one thing I will never hesitate to shout out. With that in mind, we got Castlevania coming up next, so stay tuned, folks. Until then, ciao, amici.